It's UPB, OptionMillionaires.com, and it's Monday, July 27, 2015. Look at S&P 500 futures continuing the tailspin that started last week. A really terrible session for the market last week. Continuing this week as we have China overnight crashing some 8%, its biggest loss, one-day loss since 2007. Look, S&P 500 futures down over 0.6%. But guess what? In the face of that 8% sell-off for China, actually not as big of a decline as you would think. But if you look long-term trend line support, I brought this up last week. Remains at the Greek crisis lows of a couple weeks ago, and we should see a nice bounce from there. Overall, and if you look, 2015 has just been a one big consolidation phase. So the market's been gyrating around between gains and losses, but ultimately, to me, it looks poised to head to new all-time record highs. Something to keep an eye on today, and I've been watching it throughout this pullback. Here's the VIX, and we'll see how big the reaction is here for the volatility index. And you can see the move up. We had the Greek crisis up near 20, over 20 for a little bit. Here we're just a little more of a muted move, and I would expect maybe a move up to 15 here today. And if we start to get a pullback, it's been a pretty big sell-off here for the market. We might get an intraday bounce. And again, one thing to watch for as well, if we pull in a shorter term time frame here, is we've been getting the stair-stepping action. So we get the pullback, a step, a pullback, another step, a pullback, a step. So we're getting a pullback here. Expect some sort of consolidating. You know, the selling is going to stop for a little bit as we get a little digestion of the move. And that might be the opportunity to at least intraday play a bounce and then into the overnight session. Probably not want to hold anything until China kind of gets its house in order. But look, we have earnings reports coming up. One to watch is Twitter. Each of the last earnings reports have seen the stock move drastically, either to the upside or the last one to the downside. And we sit at support here. I was expecting to move to the upside, but it looks like the earnings report is what's going to send it. Is it going to be up to this trend line, or are we going to break through this long-term support level here at 35 and head into the 20s? Certainly going to be interesting to markets positioning for that. Also, Facebook moved to record highs in the 80s, its last earnings report, but hit support, came back down to support, and finally broke out almost up to triple digits recently. So we'll see if this earnings report could send it to triple digits. A couple of those stocks to watch. The Chinese ADRs are going to be hit today. Look at Baidu. The last time came under this wick, came under this support line, but was a beautiful buy here. Pulling back is actually under 200. Its earnings is reported this week as well. Expect support to hold at the 189 level. Also, BABA, similar to 80 level right now, is seemingly where the stock wants to start the trading session. Right at support, big round number. Also, watch some of the gold miners. Gold is pulling back. GDX, if you pull up, look at this 5-year chart. Still breaking down despite the action that we've seen late last week. Actually, on Friday. Look at the action late in the day on Friday as gold and the gold miners got a bid and had a significant bounce late in the session, the last 2 hours of the trading day. All right, this is supposed to be a market minutes. Market minutes. It's UPB here, OptionMillionaires.com. Just one more chart and bring up Intel. Bearish chart patterns have been tough in this market, but I brought this one up when we were right here as a head and shoulders pattern. Look how this head and shoulders pattern is resolved perfectly to the downside. Got into some July 33 puts at 71 cents here. Those were worth $4 at expiration, and you can see the move we have under the neckline. So this is shaping up for a move into the mid to low 20s. That's what everybody's talking about now, but not so much up here. Only down here. Not so much. All right. UPB here. I'll see you in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. Everyone have a great trading day. A lot of earnings this week. Love the Facebook and the Twitter earnings, as well as LinkedIn, Baidu. It's going to be another exciting week here. I'll see you in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. Have a great day. Goodbye.